The wounded Mal returns to camp. The deer, however, is not with him. The manager leads a group of new artists into the city. The guards explain to everyone the rules that it will not be easy for them to get into the palace, for the safety of the summoner comes first. Alina herself is preparing for the feast, and in this she is once more helped by Genya, the court dressmaker. Her friend informs the summoner that there is no news from Mal again, but Alina asks her not to speak of it again. A servant brings to the girl's room the gloves that the general gave her to improve her performance, but Alina refuses the gift, believing that she can manage without them. Meanwhile, Kaz, disguised in his guard uniform, explores the palace. His plan is for them to kidnap the summoner when she is moved to the chambers for a break. Alina persuades her friend to go to the fair. Genya hesitates, but nevertheless agrees to her friend's request. Her friend and the girls sneak out of the castle. Gazing at a performance in her honor, Alina betrays herself and is spotted by Jasper, but the girls are saved in time by a court officer. Mal tells the commander that he is strong enough to personally deliver the message that he has found the magical stag to the palace, and the soldier is permitted to do so. Kerrigan visits Alina in her chambers. The girl confesses to the general that she now feels like she belongs in a castle and even a little more. In confirmation of her words, the summoner kisses Kerrigan, pleasantly surprising him. Alina shows up too early, drawing the eyes of the gathering to herself. Kerrigan brings her to the stage to show the courtiers her gift and give them hope that the canyon will soon be destroyed. The general summons darkness, which the girl must dispel by summoning the sun. Everything turns out perfectly, and the rapt audience falls to their knees before the summoner. Mal arrives at the castle. At this time, Alina is taken to her chambers, but she is detained on the stairs by an old monk librarian. Kerrigan accepts Mal and immediately recognizes him as a rival. After making sure that the boy really knows Alina, he promises to arrange for him to meet the summoner. One of Grisha's courtiers informs the old witch that the one who found the deer Morozov has come to the castle. The old woman orders that the general be prevented from finding the animal. A powerful force must not fall into his hands. The guide, Arkin, disguised as a guard, gets into Alina's bedroom and tries to kidnap her, but Genya succeeds in preventing him. When the criminal is seized, the dressmaker approaches the summoner and sees a mortal wound on her neck. The girl runs her hand over the girl's face, removing the mask. The fake Alina was in the bedroom to distract the kidnappers, and it worked. Kaz doesn't move his eyes from the true Alina, trying to get her out of the castle, but the company's path is blocked by Kerrigan. The general says nothing to the girl about Mal, and the boy himself is taken to the old witch's cave, where the old woman's assistant tries to get rid of an unnecessary witness. The general brings Alina to his room, intending to spend the night with her, but the pair are stopped by a knock on the door and a report that the summoner's double has been murdered. Kerrigan plans to deal with everything in person. The old witch Baghra leads the girl out through a secret passage, assuring her that Kerrigan wants to distract her and expand the canyon. To finally convince the summoner, Baghra confesses that she is the general's mother and knows him very well. Returning to her chambers, Kerrigan does not find Alina, who by this time is already in the stables. The general finds her mother in the yard and learns that she is responsible for Alina's disappearance, but Baghra does not say where to look for the girl. This conversation is heard by Mal. Jasper sees Alina leaving the stable and climbing into the cargo box of the wagon, hoping to get out of the castle. As soon as Kaz and Annie run out of the castle, he hurries to hide. Starkova tries to sneak out of the hiding place, but the group of kidnappers is already waiting for her nearby. The girl asks to let her go amicably, but having been refused, she uses her magical powers and escapes again. The ship on which the hunters are transporting Grisha crashes, and Nina finds herself in the water. She makes the guard come to senses and offers to help each other until they can be rescued. Kerrigan assembles a posse to go after Alina's captors. He entrusts Zoya to choose the best ones, and the girl takes the opportunity to try to turn the general against the summoner, hinting that she may have escaped of her own free will. But Kerrigan declares that now he only wants to be with Alina. Nina makes her way to an unfamiliar shore with her mate. The boy continues to call her his prisoner, but the witch laughs and offers to find shelter for the night. Alina has to run to the forest. The girl slips and falls into a ditch, where Mal finally finds her. Nina throws off her wet clothes and advises the boy to do the same. The guy realizes that he won't last that long, and agreeing to the witch's terms, he undresses and climbs under the hide. Touching the hunter, Nana applies witchcraft and makes him warm. After breaking away from the chase, Alina and Mal finally get to talk. The couple discovers that they've been writing letters to each other, but someone has been making it impossible for them to receive them, and Alina guesses that Kerrigan did it all to keep the friends apart. The pair find shelter in a stone cave. To keep her friend warm, Alina shows him her gift. Kaz's company is about to leave the city, but their crew is found by Kerrigan and the friends have to flee. Kaz comes face to face with the general and tells him that they did not kidnap Alina, she escaped the castle on her own. The summoner puts medicine on Mal's wounds so that the pair can continue on their journey. Alina is going to find and destroy a deer to increase his powers. Nina and the hunter continue to find their way, and the guy admits that he likes the witch, but he considers it a punishment, his job, to get rid of witches. At that moment, the ice cracks under the girl, and she is about to fall into abyss. The hunter rescues the witch and gives her his name, Matthias, realizing that she has finally captured his heart. Inge finds her friends, and mercenaries steal Kirigan's carriage. The general is not worried about this, ordering him to focus on finding Alina. Kirigan chats with the town guard and learns that the girl has recently fled the town. In addition, the guard says that an unknown soldier was looking for her shortly before, and the general realizes that it is about Mal, and the pair set out in search of the deer. Kirigan recalls how he once already lost his beloved. A witch healer died before his eyes at the order of the king. It was then that the general decided to protect Grisha using darkness, and he created a canyon of filth, contrary to his mother's prohibition. Alina and Mal find a deer. Looking at it, the girl refuses to destroy the magical animal and decides to find another way to gain power. She succeeds by touching the giant. The summoner is covered in sunlight and feels her powers grow stronger. At that moment, the general's mercenaries emerge from the forest. After destroying the deer, they fire an arrow at Mal. Alina tries to save him, but she has to abandon her friend in order to shield herself and the deer from the filth of the Kirigan that has appeared. The general offers to give the summoner the deer in exchange for his healer to save Mal. Believing the villain, Alina runs to Mal, and Kirigan destroys the animal, keeping his promise and ordering him to heal the tracker. Alina finds herself held captive by Kirigan. The girl resists, but the general reminds her that Mal's life is in his hands and she must resign herself. Kirigan's servant performs a ritual that forever unites the Prince of Darkness and the Sun Summoner. Now, the general has full access to the girl's light and can control her gift. Kaz is about to steal the car that Arkan used to transport them across the canyon, but the guards of the city blow it up. Alina is taken to the camp and is visited by Genya, but her joy at the meeting quickly fades. The girl realizes that all this time her friend has been spying on her and helped Kirigan to separate her from Mal, destroying letters. Kaz's team learns of the general's plans to transport the summoner across the canyon, and Kaz plans to get lost again among his guards to return home. Kirigan visits the captive Mal. He tells the boy he won't touch him, but he doesn't stand a chance anyway. The mortal tracker will soon grow old and leave, while Alina will live forever, and sooner or later she herself will realize that the general is the only one she's meant to be with. After waiting for the watchman to fall asleep, Mal frees himself from his shackles and escapes. Alina agrees to play along with the general only if he lets her lover go. Kirigan tries to win back the summoner's trust by assuring her that he has never lied to her, but the black magician's actions speak for themselves. Crowds of tourists gather to the ship, eager to watch the general and the summoner destroy the canyon. Kaz and his crew turn out to be among them. Kirigan doesn't tell the girl that Mal has escaped, lying that the guy is under guard, and if she wants him to be let go, she should make it perfect. But in the meantime, Mal is hiding in the hold, about to rescue her beloved. The ship enters the black fog of the canyon. Above the ship, cries of Valkyrs can be heard. Alina wants to light the way, but it seems to her that the general has other plans for it. Knowing what is about to begin, Kaz and his friends descend into the hold, preparing to attack. Hunter and Nina reach the first village and find lodging. The boy admits that he will have to leave in the evening. Nana suggests that he run away and start his life anew, but they both realize that this is impossible and that they will have to break up. Trying not to think about it, the couple go downstairs to find some food and then decide what to do next. At the inn, the pair are found by the general's servant. Disconnecting Matthias, he asks Nina to surrender and return home, turning the hunter into justice, but Grisha pits the village men against her former comrade, saying that Matthias is her slave trader who is trying to sell her to the general's soldier. Matthias is carried off, and Nina goes after him, hoping to rescue the boy later. Alina tries to light a light to scare off the Valkyrs, but Kirigan reminds her that he now commands her gift. Kaz overplays the plan and plans to kidnap Alina to get revenge on the general and ensure her safety. Mal hears these words. Once out of hiding, he tells the gang about his connection to Alina, and Kaz takes him in. The summoner doesn't understand why they don't finally destroy the canyon, to which Kirigan explains. Now he can create safe tunnels and only he will decide who can pass through them. The generals, who meet the ship in Novak-Rebursk, realize that Kirigan and Alina Starkova must be gotten rid of, or the entire world will lose its independence. Having guessed that this might be the case, Kurgan sets about the demonstration. He casts darkness over the city, wiping out everything in his path. Alina tries to confront him, but her powers are not enough. Kaz thinks it's too soon for them to come out of hiding, but Mal isn't going to wait and Innie supports the guy. Together they go up on deck the moment Kurgan declares himself ruler of the world. The assistant general strips the guy of his powers and Alina has no choice but to do Kurgan's bidding by protecting the ship with light. Some of the passengers realize they have been deceived and are about to confront the general, but his mercenary drops everyone to the floor, robbing them of their senses. Inge struggles with one of the guards, trying to make her way to the helm. Seeing this, she is aided by Zoya, who has also managed to become disillusioned with her master. Kurgan tries to stop Zoya, but Inge launches a dagger at him. That doesn't help. Pulling out the knife, the villain disperses the light and the ship is surrounded by Valkyrs. The first monster tries to grab Inge, but Kaz comes to the girl's aid. Alina lies on the floor trying to reach Mal. In 1 second, everything around her disappears and the girl sees a deer in front of her, which tells her with a look what to do. Grabbing her dagger, the summoner knocks some of the deer's antlers out of Kurgan, breaking their bond. The girl ignites the sun, dispersing the filth around the ship. The general raises his hand to punish the traitor, but he is knocked off the ship by Mal. Both men find themselves on the ground, surrounded by darkness. Alina tries to help her friend when Kurgan's helper appears behind her back and uses his power to make the summoner suffer. Jasper stops the mage, but Alina does not come to her senses, and the Valkyrs reappear above them. One of the monsters takes General Kurgan. Mal brings her friend to her senses, and she disperses the darkness again. The ship makes its way out of the fog. The company builds a fire to take a little break, and everyone feels uncomfortable being so close to Saint Alina. Inge swears allegiance to the girl, promising to always be there to protect the summoner. On hearing of Kaz's plans, Alina gives him a precious necklace in exchange for not kidnapping her again and not telling anyone about her. After changing her clothes, Alina burns the expensive clothes and prepares to set out with Mal. Looking at the canyon, she realizes that things have gotten worse, but Mal promises her to return later, until the girl is ready for such a battle. Nana visits Matthias in prison, but the boy hates the witch again, believing that she has avenged his captivity on the ship. Grisha vows to make things right, but the hunter no longer believes the girl's words. Alina and Mal get on the ship. Kaz's detachment is also about to leave the city. They are all going to gather their strength and fight a new battle against the canyon, thinking that General Kurgan will no longer be able to prevent them. But Kurgan gets out of the fog and leads the giants created out of darkness behind him.